am Heidi Caillier. I'm an interior designer in the Pacific Northwest, and right now we are on Fox Island, which is a little bit south of Seattle. When the clients came to me, it was right before they were about to start picking out finishes, and the client felt like they wanted something just a little bit different. So we were able to weigh in on the architecture plans, and then from there we created something from the ground up. They wanted a very classic home. We did a lot of exploratory work via inspiration images and looking at fabrics to figure out exactly the design style. And I saw a lot of things in her images that were like French modern and had bright, bold textiles. And once we kind of landed that, I knew the direction. The house itself is very much driven by the land that it sits on, which has a beautiful view of the Sound and sits up on a high bank. So it was very much about making the house feel like it was part of that. You know, when you're working with a new build or new construction, is how to bring character into the house and trying to figure out how to make it feel like it had some age and patina on it already, which is kind of always the challenge with new construction. So we were really attentive to what the windows look like and what the doors feel like and the actual, hard finishes of the home, and then layering that with soft textiles and pattern and print and wall coverings to kind of bring some warmth. I chose the product for the media room because that room has a lot of print and pattern. It's got the big floral batik on the sofa and then another pattern on the drapery. So we wanted something kind of soft just to round out the space. And then the artwork to me in there is the perfect complement, a little more masculine print versus the floral on the sofa. Open concept space planning can be a little bit tricky because you really want to try to find ways to create zones. So we really focus on creating like seating areas that designate the spaces, rugs that really outline this is the entry, and then also light fixtures. So centering light fixtures in each area so they kind of feel like their own distinct space is really important. I chose the rug for the dining area because it feels like it works so well with the rug in the living room. It has the same graphic pattern, but it's also a soft neutral, so it just brings a little bit of texture to the space instead of being the main element. I chose the rug for the kitchen because it grounds that big expanse between the sink and the refrigerator and really brings some warmth. But the rug also is kind of soft and neutral, so it allows the kitchen to speak for itself. The kitchen's always been one of my favorites. It feels like expansive and cozy at the same time. But I also just love how the house feels as a whole. I think there's a story that's told and it feels really, really cohesive. And then in the primary bedroom, the rest of the room is so serene. We have a soft linen wall covering, a very subtle print on the bed and the drapery. So we wanted something a little bit more graphic on the floor. When people ask me about selecting textiles, I always tell them make sure you get a physical sample because things always look different online. You can't really tell what the weave is going to look like, so that's always a great place to start. But then for me, it's all about the mix. So if you're going to use something small scale on a sofa, use something large scale on the draperies, or figuring out the way the patterns kind of meld together, using something like a floral with a plaid, a masculine and feminine, and then colors that feel like they're of the same tone, whether they're muted or poppy. When we're styling a project, we're very much inspired by florals and what we see in nature. And, for each project, it really depends on where it's located and the surrounding environment and the look that we're trying to create in that house. And then with styling in general, I like to find pieces that are impactful, but I do like to keep it a little bit minimal. As the years go by, you gain more confidence in your own voice. So for me, when I first started, I would look at my clients' Pinterest boards and do exactly what they were asking for. And now I feel much more comfortable to put my own spin on it. So I'll look at their inspiration images and kind of take away color or pattern, or if it's more muted, or shapes of furniture. But I have much more creative freedom now, and that's really lovely. I think there's like tenets of my design that read through in every project. I love vintage and antiques. I love pattern and color. I love textiles, and I really love to layer. So pulling from different design eras and genres to kind of create an eclectic layered look. I really didn't have like big aspirations or goals when I started out. I just loved design. I still feel really thankful to have the clients that we get, to get the projects that we're getting all over the country. It just feels still so surprising to me all the time. So I just want to keep going on this trajectory.